Are you in a constant coma? Do you feel that your energy is decreasing every single time you consume something? When you eat something? This is not per se not normal, and not really that you feel your energy dip after you've eaten. When you eat in a very big meal, it might be that your energy dip, it goes down quite a bit, insulin level. Well, it doesn't matter really what you eat, but if you eat junk food, it goes down quick. You eat sugar and pasta, they say, oh, you get the energy fast, but then it decreases pretty quickly. And if you eat a lot of fiber, you've heard that it takes some hours before the energy goes down, but you feel you have energy for a longer period of time. And it's normal to feel a little dip after you've just ate. But it's not normal to feel that the whole day. It's so annoying that, I got my coma from eating. And then the whole day, it affects you the whole day. That is not normal. This video will cover what to eat, how you pick food, and all that I personally know about this subject. When you walk away today, if you listen to this whole video in order, I can guarantee you that it will be life-changing for you. This is my first life-changing guide, truly the first. In so many ways, you will be life-changing as in ways you didn't even expect. If you get through this video with your full and utter attention and watch it in order, you will be successful in all you do, because diet is a big portion of your energy, and your energy is a big thing in what you do and how successful, how much work you can get done. So I promise you that it will be life-changing, and you will be successful if you fix this diet. If you watch this in full order, and don't go change tabs, just Microsoft Teams, my Discord. Give this video, go on full screen on YouTube. When you click on the video, go on full screen on YouTube. Then close the other screen if you have freaking 3 screens, like I do. Then close the other screens. Have your screen. Go in full screen to my video. Don't click any tabs. Don't have your phone. Put your phone on airplane mode. Put it in another room. And make time for this video. If you don't have this hours of time, I recommend you watch it some other time. You have to make it a part of your schedule, right? You have to put in 4 hours learning about full diet, because you'll be fully equipped with everything about food. So if you ever wonder and want to refresh, your memories about the food, watch this video. This video will cover nearly everything, a hell lot. It will be a very long video, but a very valuable video. If you can get through this video, you have gained my utter and full respect. If you can watch this in order, you don't have to watch it in one sitting, but don't go skip like a little Jeffrey, he skips to the end to get the summary, that stupid guy. It's optional to skip my story, but the story is a good indicator. The story is that I was in deep rabbit hole, deep shit, and how I got through it, and how the life-changing experience was for me. So if you skip the story, you won't be able to relate as much, and then you won't believe me that I made this shift. So watch the story if you want it, but as I said, you can skip it if you don't have your time. You can skip it because it's mostly about my story, and if you're not interested in my story, you just want the information, I will make a card down in the down so you can see, you know, where the story is, and you can skip it, it's optional, but I recommend you still watch it. This is, by the way, gonna be probably my longest video yet, and this is my first or second, I think it's my second full guide on the channel, so this will truly bring you value, and this is a full no bullshit guide. So I will go into my story now. I will just write it down so I can make that card so I don't have to wait hours. Story 06052. Okay. So my story then. I was just like any other guy, you know, having food coma after eating, and then feeling the energy throughout the day, throughout the weeks, all the time. And I was a guy walking day in, day out, and his life wasn't much, you know, he was tired, and I believe this was my sleep, and yeah, but I kind of fixed my sleep. I've never had bad sleep. I've never gotten less than 6 hours, but 6 hours is bad because I need to sleep a hell lot. Now today I slept like 10-11 hours. I sleep so much, but I've never, you know, I've actually been quite good in the sleeping area. Sometimes I stayed up to 3 or something, but then I just slept until 8-9, so I still got 6 hours. So I've never done a whole night, you know, no sleep, because my body just reached for the bed and 3 o'clock. Couldn't control much. I was tired as AF. But I still was a lazy person, and I never questioned something. And Eskil, you know, he was a big eater. The big problem with this was because, as I said before, in the introduction part of the video, that a big eater, after you've just eaten a meal, it's normal to get an energy dip because you consumed so much food, and the energy gets, all the energy is concentrated on one point, the gut. So kind of the energy in your brain, you can get kind of tired, fuzzy, this, like, after you just ate, that's normal. But I was eating a bunch of shit food, and I was eating 3-4 times. It never worked for me. I was eating like shit, and I was tired the whole day. So I always was that big eater. And now, story here. My grandparents and my parents said, "Kid, you eat too much." And my grandmother said, "It can't be good for your stomach. Please be careful when eating like this. Don't eat this much." My grandmother is an amazing person. She always looked out for me and my brother. Yeah, I have a brother and now I have a sister now. But when we were young, yeah, and so I have a big brother, little sister, and then my parents with 5 in our family, and my sister's now 9 years old, so she has been there, she's been supporting us for a long time, she came with bread, waffles, but I eat like shit, but she came with food, and, she made pasta, meatballs for us, she made food for us, so she always looked out for us. It's been years now, but we live pretty close to her now, and we have done for quite a while. But when I was 5 to 9, we actually lived at Gotland, which is the biggest island in Sweden, and I love that place. Unfortunately, mother got some work and then had to move, and then she got another work. She changed jobs many times. And now we're stuck here, so we can't move out. It's too expensive to move out now. But yeah, I'm really grateful for that. She looked out for us all these times when mother and father were in the stressful. My father, he hit the wall, he was not depressed, but he was way too stressed. And my mother changed jobs many times, and she was also pretty stressed because her boss was fucking stupid. She got the fucking worst boss. Now she's in a pretty good place. Should I tell you this? Well, it's a story section, so I'm still going deep in this video, so why not? We also had a cat. Yeah, we had a fine cat. When we were example semester, she always fed him. Yeah, grandmother. So good. Someone needed to water the plants, and someone needed to take care of the cat. And this cat's name, this cat's name was Sixten. My amazing cat. I really miss him. Oh no, I can't let my emotion control me here, but... And I was also at his... I really miss him. I was also at his burials. Although I regret not being there at the veterinarian. Well, unfortunately he died. That's where he lost his life. Oh man, it is emotions controlling me. I'm showing weakness here. Enough of me crying. My point is that I was never cared about the food, only in the sense of it being tasty. I thought that it was unnecessary and kind of cringe to eat food that didn't taste like McDonald's. This ain't nuggets, this ain't burgers, this ain't fries, this ain't pasta, this ain't rice, this ain't candy, this ain't crisp, this ain't chips, this ain't popcorn, this ain't whatever shit. And all the food that weren't as tasty as them. So, never ate vegetables. Besides carrot, I always loved carrots. And I ate fruits because it was sweet, it was good. I always liked fruits. And the time I was also a binge eater. And that reminds me. I remember a story now. Story when I binge eated. Oh man, this is so sad. But whatever, I'm sharing out my stories here. Unfiltered stories here. What I did was I just ate after the ice cream. I ate all the ice cream. The ice cream van that it always used to come on Fridays outside of a house, and we always buy it. Wonder why we bought ice cream every week. But so just after it left, they said, kids, you are allowed to eat one ice cream per day, mother said. Then they left, because they had some shopping or some business to attend to. I don't know what it was. Really, there was always something for some reason. So they drove away to their business. And then, can you guess what I did? Can you guess what a binge eater is craving for now? What is the binge eater craving right now? I wanted ice cream. I wasn't satisfied with that one ice cream per day. So I took as many as possible without my parents noticing. That was the time I also lied about every single thing. I said I promise I only took one ice cream, and my room were full of foils and papers from the ice cream. There were like 10 sandwich ice cream papers. Like, what the hell? I did the same with a popsicle and a scoop of ice cream. I took half the package of ice cream. I took liters of ice cream and some caramel and chocolate cream and, some sauce and marinade, these white things, marinade, I don't know what they're called, and sprinkles all over the place. A lot of sprinkles. Hey, fuck ton of sprinkles. Covered the whole area of glass, covered the whole. And man, that was a bomb of sugar to say the least. That was my ice cream story. And I ate it all in front of me watching. I was watching series, I was watching that, and that, playing video games. It was so bad that it didn't satisfy me. You know the feeling where you like eat so fucking much and then still hungry and I can still go for round 2. Round 2, I took half the fucking pass. I took the biggest ass pot plate and just filled with ice cream. And the fucking whole sprinkle. I had a fuck ton of sprinkle and caramel and cola and chocolate cream and sauce and holy AF. Holy fuck. Yeah, and then someday, one particular day, at school, what's going on with the ice cream? Do you know where it went? I just bought ice cream yesterday. I said one ice cream. Then she said my brother's and sister's name also. And I said, no, it was my little sister. Because she was also kind of a binge eater at the time. So she kind of believed me. But it got me bad when they found out. They were like, wait. Did I get some consequences? I can't remember, but I got... No, I got screamed at, but my parents are kind. But man, they got screamed at and noticed that the ice cream is somewhere, right? It's either zero esque and then, man. And then things went shit from there. Yeah, so then I lied every time and said it was my sister. Sometimes that worked, sometimes it didn't. Either way, it was horrible for me in so many ways and so many consequences. And also another story, right? I did this is basically the same story, but I did the same with candy. I took an extended length or a chair so I could reach the candy that was up there. And put it all on a plate and started eating kilos of candy. I took a big ass container, big ass, pot or something, whatever it was. I took a big ass thing and then I started eating kilos of that candy. Don't know why there was so much, but it was because, I don't know why there was so much candy, but not only messing up my hunger and body and gut microbiome and also, and the gut and all the microbiomes in the gut, but also it got me so addicted to it that my teeth were at their end. Like, there was someone who bought like 5, 6, 7, maybe even more packages of candy, and I took one each day, man. I took a whole fucking each day. A whole package each fucking day. I don't know, I should have been 30% body fat after that, but I don't know why. Never got that bad. I'm a guy who, burns a fuck ton fast. And also, that huge consequence to my teeth. I did no brushing my teeth at all at that time. I never washed with water after eating that shit. So I was getting all the bacteria gathering, all that shit. Man, I get this tired when I do these videos. I later stopped the candy. Don't know why. I just stopped craving for it. I don't know why I just stopped eating it. That is quite rare to turn the habit away for some. For some, it's really hard to just do it. But I did it in one shot. one shot. It took me one shot, and then I succeeded never eating candy again. I don't know why. It's easy to just make a replacement, and I think that was the reason why it worked so well. So I've covered that and how I replaced my sweets, and never had a problem with ever again getting back to relapse into eating sweets again. I've currently been on 2 years since eating candy last, and I couldn't have been happier. I'm grateful for that I implemented these things that broke the habit. I hope you get as much value as I got from it. And what I did was I replaced the candy, the ice cream, the cake, the soda, the juice, all the stupid shit with fruits and water. Yeah, I replaced everything with fruits and water. I went from soda to only water, and I went from dessert and cake to snacks to snacking on fruits. But still far from ideal. I've got high ambitions and goals, so it's nothing, right? But I really worked out greatly. The first week struggled some, I'm not gonna lie. I struggled with the water part. Water tasted quite bad in comparison, but after that week I gained a taste for water again, so it's my new normal now. It's always like this. It's the first time forming a habit, and when you're broken habit, it has and been some time without it, that's when it gets easier. It will be much easier to continue to keep on the right track and not to binge eat or eat sweets or sweet stuff at all. And I did this. I later found self-improvement, but I did this even before self-improvement. I found self-improvement about 7 months ago, but I've been without sweets for over 2 years. I just didn't want to eat sweets, I think, something like that. I just didn't want to eat sweets. It was either I didn't want to gain more fat, or I was kind of that skinny fat guy, but I was never above like 17%. I wasn't that bad. I was still normal, even less than normal, even though I ate like a shit. But I was not fat, I was probably 40% body fat or something, and now I'm around 10. You can clearly see the difference, although I'm currently on a bulk, so it will increase soon, so I'll probably get to 14, and then I do a cut again, these things. When you go that low, you can see the difference. 14 to 10%, that's a big ass difference. I think it's when I look back now is either that it just made clear that I never was to eat sweets again. I think it was one of those two reasons, and there was one reason that led me to the right path, and that was the gym. I've been in the gym now for a while. So I was in the gym even before self-improvement. At the time, it had a huge impact on me. Still has. It's amazing. I'm gonna hit a workout after recording this big vast video, and after I've eaten, So I was less prone to eat sweets when I do good habits such as hitting the gym. So I realized this. When you relapse, you do one good habit, you're more prone to do the other good habits, because you relapse and get back to your old self. If you were like that. So when I do good habits, I'm much more prone to work on my business. So I do that to even reinforce my business and reinforce my discipline. So gym is perfect for me on the side of this business. And last but not least, let's throw in an unrelated weird story. This is the story sections, and I'm very deep, so why not? I actually quit video games completely without being on self-improvement. Can you believe this? I'm not kidding. I was so much into TV series, HBO, Disney Plus, Crunchyroll, and other free anime websites, all series in general, cartoons, animes, normal TV reality drama, American shows, Korean, everything. I was into reading books. I read some shit, right? I could say at least some shit. it even got to the point where I was too tired to play video games. I was that guy. I stopped playing video games. I was too lazy to play video games. I stopped it completely. I was the worst. I was even worse than people who make progress on videos. I was too tired to make progress in video games. What the hell? I've even heard someone being too lazy to play video games. I was so lazy that I couldn't play them. I just couldn't play them. I was so ashamed when someone saw my anime weeb stuff on my screen. I lied and said that no, I don't do that. It was not there. But who the fuck buys that? Who the fuck buys that? So I said that was only an ad, and when an ad popped up, and and it was only for the music. And it wasn't the metric system suggested me. It wasn't the suggestions from YouTube because I watched that. Absolutely not. Definitely not. It's something else. And then I had like, no, it's so weird. What the fuck? Why is I'm getting this ad? What the fuck? It's so disgusting like this. I talk to my brother. Look at disgusting. That was fucking super weep. With a weird face, I was like, no, I don't do that. What the fuck? Ugh. So I can convince him sometimes because I didn't lie to him as often, but right now I am as authentic as I can with my whole family. My relationship with the brother has improved, with the sister a bit, but I'm genuinely glad with how I've changed. And before I start the video, I'm just gonna do a quick note here and see what time it is. Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into the video. So, our modern food is made to be addictive. They've put a bunch of shit especially for the taste, because a product that is tasty will more likely sell for the majority of people. It's for financial wins, and everyone believes that it's the norm now to eat that. It has created a new standard of food that our ancestors would look down on us. Ancestors would say, what the fuck is this food? I didn't ingest. The ancestors, they never ingested this food that is causing many negatives, as our mental, cognitive, physical health declines day by day, and depression gets high, and all these things. I believe there's a big part of the diet, but they didn't eat this shit. And this stupid food is messing up our energy, our digestive system, and I will talk about more into detail about that later in the video, and our hormones. The food has changed to, it has made a shift from being, hard food to more comfortable food. Comfortable food for our teeth, easy to eat, and tastier, more sugar, and sugar bombs, and loads of seed oils, and processed foods, and combined foods, refined foods, all this shit food. They're made to be addictive. Sugar is made to be addictive. This seed oils is made to be addictive, and they're quote-unquote healthy for us, some stupid heart association says, and I will talk more about that later. They have changed the aesthetics of the stores of the foods, because it's easier to create plastic and put them in there. Yeah, they've changed the, the packaging full plastic, and fuck, that's that's the dystopic future has already came. But we also make everything easier, even though we have the capacity to do. We have the capacity. We've got tractors, we've got combined harvesters, and the efficiency in general of our growing and making food has increased by a fuck ton. Our capacity has increased we can make 100 or even 1,000 times the efficiency and 1,000 times the food at 1,000 times the time. Now it only takes 1 hour to do that before it took the whole fucking 24 hour. Whole fucking day. The output of the modernization has caused an incredibly efficiency revelation. Well, this is both good and bad. Good, because we can do more, but we have misused this efficiency revolution. We have misused it and messed up ourselves, is what I believe. This has led to us, this has messed us up in that we're getting lazy. We're so lazy that we need to use pesticides on our food. Our food is being poisoned so that insects will keep away insects. We're poisoning the food to keep away the insects. The natural protection has been diminished or destroyed completely, such as bait, walls, smart technology, and the elimination of the natural enemies of the pests, which was a stupid decision all along. And you want to hear a story here about China. They did something similar in China. Well, they had you have heard of the one children, but this is not that story. It's about diet now. The rice, they didn't want their fucking birds to eat the rice, so what they did was they shot the birds. They got money for shooting the birds. And the problem was that the birds, there were problems. They ate the crops, but the insects were an even bigger problem. And who do you think eats the insects? Probably the birds, right? So the insects became more. They 10 times or increased so much that the insect problem is about probably globally at this point. China has to use fuck ton of pesticides because of that. No doubt about it. It's full of pesticides to keep them away. This further developed and became even worse when even demand started to shoot up. It skyrocketed demand of a single crop. What I mean, rice starts to get high demand, pasta high demand, meat high demand, all these things high demand, candy high demand, palm oil high demand, palm high demand. When we started monoculture of crops, that is when it got to even a worse level. Water, nice to have some water, but when the monoculture come, this is when it developed to even worse. So what is that monoculture? Monoculture of crops is when we have a huge hectares and huge areas of the same crop. Common crops with huge monocultures is, you've probably heard of palm oil, rapeseed oil, strawberries, cereals, and many more. Of one seed. Maybe corn, you've heard of big corn farms. In US, the corn sugar, corn syrup, all these big ass. Avocado in US and many others. But my point is that is one crop, big ass with one crop. And now, the problem with pesticides, processed foods, and plastic is that all of these they're all hormone disruptive, in that they have a big effect on both our gut microbiome and our energy, and our gut microbiome is very close to our brain. If our brain sucks, maybe we suck. So our bodily function is directly associated to our brain. And the gut, especially, is directly, it's like a second brain, gut. You've probably heard of that somewhere. But the gut is very closely associated with the brain. So when we get stupid and tired and AFK by eating shit, then our guts feel like shit. And so does our brain. They are very closely connected to each other. Which means that when we ingest something that comes to the stomach, and that is poisonous and damaging and shit food, and in many other ways. It also affects our brain quite badly, right? In a number of different ways that we are knowing and unknowing about. So it can be very dangerous. There's some very dangerous when our stomach gets bad. So when we have stomach problems, our brain is not that. Our brain can be affected in many different ways. What we know is that our energy and body function is decreasing. And that can mean that our brain capacity and our IQ decreases. Because that's closer to our gut. So when our gut is shitting 100 times a day, IQ and brain capacity goes down. And that's very likely because I've also got personal experience that I felt almost sterilized when I ingest these types of food. So the superior man and I and you should be much better at avoiding such stuff. Don't promote, when you buy shit for, you're promoting these companies. We want to boycott pesticide, plastic and these things. And how you boycott pesticides is about buying organic. And you can't really boycott plastic, but you can buy from places that you can benefit places that are not using plastic or pesticide, organic. And I will go into, requirements of organic food and all these things. This video is fucking huge, as I said, but now a big reason why we eat like this shit processed food, sugar-filled food, as I said, it was, as I said, what did I say again? This video is so long, but it's made to be addictive, and the producer also wants money, and everyone is so addicted. So when it's so addicted that we defend it. Sometimes we do. Like if you have one bad habit, you defend watching anime because anime is amazing, right? Or video games amazing. Or no, I feel better when I take the smoke-free cigar, weed. Fucking stupid. There's one thing we defend, one bad habit. Maybe you want to drink up with the boys. Like, nah, it's amazing, just go drink up. Or one habit, like, I love soda. I love ginger ale, and I still do. I still fucking love, but I don't drink it. I fucking love ginger ale. There's something about Schweppes ginger ale that's insane, man. But I'm not eating that. But everyone is addicted to things, and also, there are stupid YouTubers or stupid TikTokers, stupid Instagram. There are stupid fitness influencers, especially and money influencers. But fitness influencers are telling you that it's okay to eat these things if it fits your macros and calories. It's okay. It's good because you can still make muscle by doing this. Isn't fitness more about muscle? Your muscle it won't be as healthy. Your mental health won't be as healthy. How the fuck you expect to hit the gym when your mental health is like shit? I'm telling you that the so-called fitness influencers has a very narrow and disgusting perspective on how things work. So stop watching them, boycott them, unsubscribe to them, tell them to, they can be with they can make videos for themselves, When you see someone make a 13,000 calorie challenge video, they're just fucking addicted to the food, man. They're just fucking addicted. They want to make a video about it, cause I can make a video while I have this craving, and they bring nothing more to the table. They bring nothing to the table, nothing of value. Unsubscribe to those fitness influencers. They bring nothing of value. They waste your mental capacity, waste your time. So just fucking unsubscribe to this stupid fitness influencer that does this. And I can say that most fitness influencers don't bring anything of value to the table. That's my opinion. And it's best to leave them at themselves. And in the same way, because this is also one thing we can do. We boycott processed food, and they say that Monster's food is good, fitness influencers, so we need to boycott them and then boycott processed food so not more people get. Because I swear there are guys for 13, 14 want to build muscle, bulk, and they say bulk. I heard someone talk about bulk, that's how you gain muscle, and that's how you gain weight, and then they listen to the fucking fitness influencer advice how you bulk. Oh, this is how you need to be a calorie surplus, and you can eat what fuck ever you want. They're essentially making young people. They're making young people make stupid ass habits. Now that's pissing me off. But you need to boycott this fitness influencer, boycott this processed pesticide, plastic food, hormone disruptive food. That needs to change. Yeah, and this is I don't think many try to defend them and say that most they do this for the viewers. They eat like shit because most people are stupid. That's what they say. I do this video because most people are stupid, and most people are more likely to click on this if it's more relatable. I also eat shit food, and they need to adapt themselves. No, I think they're rotten through and through. Because they set the example, so that's stupid lies. Stupid limiting beliefs, that's stupid things. I don't trust that. They're rotten through and through, these fitness influencers. So, what is the ideal diet? The ideal diet is the diet for muscle growth, and gives you all these healthy benefits, and still tastes quite good. This will make it easier to be not addicted, but stay consistent to the healthy food, you could say. So it's good that they taste quite good as well. Food that are not prone, food that you are more prone to stick to. What should we look for when we talk about diet? Mainly, we want non-processed food, one ingredient food, and non-processed food is probably the easiest and the most effective, will thus the most change and the easiest to implement in this video. So that's why I start with this. We mostly want to change to only one ingredient food. This is the stage where we go from processed shit food to one ingredient food, or food that contains one ingredient. I will have some example here. Meat, just meat. Buy meat, plain meat, just broccoli, just leek, just nuts, just butter, just potatoes, and so on. These foods are common example of one ingredient food. When we talk about meat, we want chicken nuggets, 70% chicken, sausage, 60%, 40% whatever other shit they put in there. Maybe potatoes, maybe some seed oils, and all these shit things they're putting there. We want 100% meat, 100% broccoli, 100% leek, nuts, butter, potatoes, whatever. So you don't want that chips, fries, and potatoes buy from a store. Just buy potatoes. Just potatoes. Don't any chips, don't fries, don't crisps, don't everything like that. You need only potatoes, one ingredient food. That's all you should eat. Same with corn. Corn is the healthiest snack, but I tell you, you have to give up the healthiest snack right now. You need corn. Only corn. You know these yellow, small things? Corn. Not popcorn. That's not 100% corn, and that's in the microwave, or it's not 100% corn, and that still counts as processed, and still counts as snack food. And no, man, it's the healthiest snack, but it's still processed food, so unfortunately I tell you here to give up your popcorn. It will be hard for you, but please do it, because that's a processed food. So if you want to go to the next level, you have to replace that with something else, or don't eat any dessert or any snack at all. I don't, but please. Now I will cover some example of processed food. This is I probably don't have to do this, but it's a full guide, so why not? Low fat burgers is the worst, it's full of sugar instead. Burgers in general, took the fat and then the meat and put in potatoes. They put fucking sugar in potatoes and put you know, they don't have, it's not 100% meat. They put some of the meat out, some potatoes and sugar, artificial created burgers. Then when you see a fucking sausage, 70% meat sausage, it should be 100% meat, or else it's a scam, or else it's a psyop. It's something you avoid. So avoid sausage, chicken nuggets. I can guarantee you the chicken nuggets is not 100% chicken. And meatballs, if they're not created at home, 100% meat. Get fucking shit out of here. Get the meatballs out of here, which you bought from the store. Burgers, you can go to hell. Avoid fries that aren't 100% potato. So avoid crisp and chips, they're not 100% potato. So avoid them. Avoid popcorn, as I said. The healthiest snack, but they're still not 100% corn, so avoid them. That is the way you think about it. If it's not 100% that ingredient, skip it. It's a processed food. That's how you think. And that's how you decide for yourself what is non-processed and what is processed food. So the first step was to get rid of all non-first ingredient food. Next step is even beyond, and note that this is possible in any general store. Of course, I realize that most people it's not available or not possible for other people, to reach and get things from stores that aren't general stores, because most people, the majority of people, only have access to general stores. See, this step will actually be available for those and possible for the majority of people, guys. And that is to avoid pesticides as much as possible. You can find organically or organic products such as organic carrots instead of the normal carrot. Get organic vegetables. That is the easiest and the best step up and the most, it'll do the biggest difference, because they're full of pesticides, vegetables, when you grow them. So go look around for organic fruits, vegetables, nuts, meats, eggs, and all ever you need. Or that's a big step up. Only go on organic, because there are big things about organic, which I will talk about a bit later. Some needs, there are some essentials. You treat the animal, for example, different if it's organic, and I will talk about that later in the video. But now I'll talk a bit about eggs. Best eggs are organic, pasture raised. That is free of walk and gets that vitamin D and sunlight on them. Because healthier chicken that are pasture raised and not fed mold or artificial soy or other artificial food that are damaging. And these foods, when we eat eggs, we don't want to eat damaging eggs. And eggs is the most important thing we eat, probably. So you need to make sure that they're organic and pasture raised, free of walk, vitamin D. Because if they're pasture raised, they're mostly getting that free of walk outside, and they feed themselves. They're not getting fed shit. Because when we eat healthy chickens, we're getting healthy. Because when we eat shit, unhealthy chicken, we get unhealthy. Because these pesticides or these stupid food, this soy, this estrogenic, all these things, they transfer directly. Bisphenols and estrogenics and all these things are very hard to decipher and get rid of. So that's a direct transfer for us, and it's very, very difficult to get rid of. So it transfers right through when we eat eggs. So if you don't want to get sick and sterilized, how do you say, sick, like, what is it called again? Oh, quick, what? Just quick here. Salmonella in English. Salmonella, if that's English word, I don't know if it's Swedish or English, but the salmonella, the chance of us getting sick, is actually higher when we do this. We keep them inside to minimize the risk of them getting salmonella. When you do this, the risk actually increases. Stupid ass. When they're healthy, they don't get salmonella. That's unhealthy shit that gets salmonella. They're a bit more expensive, these eggs, pasture-raised organic, but it's worth it if you don't want to get salmonella, sick, sterilized, all these things. Sterilized, what that means is basically it's damaging hormones, but you're less able to perform mentally, physically, and it leads to being unable to breathe. When you call sterilized, that is someone who's sterilized is unable to breathe and make offspring. So now his tests and testosterone, his sperm doesn't work as well, and also more likely to develop cardiovascular event. Stupid heart association. If you eat sheet oils, you will decrease the chance of getting cardiovascular disease. Shut up! That's increasing the risk. And I'll talk about that stupid company a bit later on. Vegetables. Vegetables, as I said before, is the easiest and most beneficial thing to change from pesticide to from pesticide filled with pesticide to organic. Organic vegetables are much better. Just think about it. The pesticides you have to use to not get all the insects eating all the pests to eat your crops. The problem is that vegetables often, as we previously noted in these videos, from monocultures and big hectares and big areas of pesticide spread. So they have a lot of pesticides in them. When you choose organic meat, the animals are fed better actually. But the thing with organic meat is that it's not fed any unnecessary drugs. And we are specializing in getting as much meat as possible in what we do. And that is how we can get more meat, make more money, being able to export more meat. But the biggest difference between conventional and organic cultivation is that pesticides and only a certain fertilizer is allowed, and that is a natural fertilizer, which is not artificially created, but instead it's biological. You know, all the environmental causes of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, that's created when you create this artificial created fertilizer. And it's leading to the global warming and acidification everywhere, in seas, every waterway, everywhere, and changing the weather pattern to more or less unpredictable and such. Although we probably mostly care about our health, right, and body. So when something is organic, it's biological and not poisonous or hormone disrupted. So when it's organically cultivated, there is no pesticide and only natural fertilizer. So it's both for the climate and for our health. And there are some certain rules for meat that is required in organic meat. So now I'll go to the rules. I'm just gonna quickly close my window here, because really need to close that window so I don't disturb all the neighbors and such, because I probably start to scream a bit later on. Yeah. So the 5 rules of meat, organic meat. That is an absolute requirement for organic meat. And that is, firstly, not fed many drugs, but no antibiotics if the animal isn't sick. Yeah, you heard that right. there are some stupid people. They're feeding the cows, the animals, the chicken, whatever, with antibiotics. I'm gonna make sure you ain't never gonna get sick, but they don't know how resistance work and how you build up sickness and resistance to medication works. They don't know. It's stupid. So they fill the animal antibiotics and don't realize the damage and effect to our health and body. Think, oh yeah, well, it has no, it won't transfer to us. No. Like, they're stupid. They don't even know. The bodies became, as I said, they become resistant to the medication. So if you take that every single fucking time, it won't be as effective. So they have to feed them even more damaging. So they're no longer as effective. And yeah, not effective at all. They have to feed them a fuck ton of antibiotics. Some of them feed them with even more. And the medicine does shit to our body. If we were to ingest such thing, that would have been highly damaging and have many unknown causes to us. Many unknown causes to us that we don't know, and many known. So when we consume their antibiotics, that can cause some effect on us. I'm not very specifically invested in just that area of antibiotics, but I try to give you as much as I can, so much value as possible as I possibly can. And the other rule is that pesticides, you think, pesticides, well, you don't throw pesticides on the animals. No, this is that no pesticides on the food they're consuming. So no pesticide food. We don't feed the animals pesticide food. That is what it means. They want, when they're organically, they feed them good food, healthy food. They eat healthier, and when they eat healthier, that's healthier for us. So that's a good rule that exists. Organic is perfect for us. And as I said before, fertilizer, they only use natural fertilizer. And that's for the environmental issues, as acidification. That's horrible. I think that's really horrible. I really think that's unfortunate, because that leads to a fish being dead and bad and all these things. And the easiest way to avoid that is through natural wetlands. I'm gonna talk I actually go a course about this, so that's why I know a lot about this. But the easiest way to avoid leakage of fertilizer and pesticides, because they spray a fuck ton with pesticides and a lot of fertilizer, way too much. So the best way is to use natural wetlands. This has been, I think it's so unfortunate that they removed these, because they're so beautiful as well. They removed wetlands for trains, for houses, for all these stupid things. They just removed natural wetlands. At the time they didn't know the consequence, but they removed these wetlands and or swamps and all the pesticide. It's a natural protection, because then all the pesticides and all the fertilizer go into those if they were to leak. And in general, just don't fucking go insane with the pesticide and fertilizer. That's messing everything up. Artificial fertilizer is forbidden in organic meat, and no fertilizer at all besides natural from them, the fertilizer from them. So you're not only making sure that the environmental causes or the environmental is good, but that it makes us safe for us to consume the food as well. Because the poison is more or less forbidden, and there is no chance of us getting that in if it's forbidden, right? And the same with pesticides as well. You are not allowed to use any pesticides in organic meat, so that's also good for us. No way. And now the last such requirement is that they want biological diversity of many kinds. So when we do all these pesticide, artificial created fertilizer, and more or less kill some of the food chain, that has a negative effect on other animals around us. when we kill the insects, the birds will die. If we kill the birds, the insects have no natural enemy, meaning that the whole world is their habitat, meaning that they may make their homes of our corpse. So I know it's difficult. We basically have to use pesticides because there's so many insects. Because someone made monocultures, which is it's attracting from miles these insects, and you have to pesticide them because we have destroyed the food chain in generally everywhere in the world, and when we destroy the food chain, there become too many no natural enemies. They breed like holy Jesus, and insects is the worst, right? But if we kill the insect, we kill the whole food chain, because the birds eat the insects and someone eats the birds, so we kill the whole food chain if we eliminate insects. But fuck these insects, man. Fuck them. I hate insects, but they're the most important in the food chain, and yeah, that's really unfortunate. I fucking hate them. But they have no natural enemy, right? If someone kills all the predators. And there is no stopping their habitat. Insects running free, running wild. There's so many. And then we have to use pesticides, because there's no way to hell keep the 100 millions of pests away eating our crops. We basically have to, but there are some ways we can do, as I said with the walls before, and have their natural enemy, and things, be a bit more flexible and you will make it work. And now you might be thinking, why do I talk about this environmental and biological diversity issues and all these things when this is mostly about what the fuck we eat? It's actually pretty closely connected, meaning that if we help them who want to benefit the environment and biological diversity and all these things, and if we keep with them the bad, like the climate, something needs to change, we need to change the climate, fix the climate, so if we work together with them, if we work with them and work for them, then their message has been heard, because environmental issue is in the news, all these things, it's good for us because we can use them, but their message is heard. It benefits us when their message is heard loud and clear. That also benefits us, being that because if you think about it, environmental, we wanna go for the environment, that for environment and that, and plastic is bad for environment and it's bad for us, and if you think pesticides is bad for the environment, and artificial created fertilizer is bad for the environment, and all these things, plastic, polyester in clothes is bad for the environment, all these things. So when let's say we make pesticides and plastics haram, we make it unacceptable, that is benefiting us. So when we invest in good for the climate, that's also the pieces we want. So when we have clothes good for the climate, that's clothes we need to buy, because that's clothes that's mostly plastic free. And same with the food. I wanna for biological diversity. I'm a farmer for biological diversity. Well, buy from him. He has no pesticide, probably no plastic, and all this good. No hormone disruptive shit. No, he is good. He's what we want. He's aligning to our goal, but we don't have the same thought process. But he's the end goal is the same. No pesticide, no plastic, no hormone destructive shit, no bad stuff for the climate. Things that is bad for the climate is also bad for us, right? We're also animals. They want to save the environment, and we want more testosterone and better health. That is the biggest difference. I am grateful for that those movements are quite big, and because it's easier for us in our missions as well. They help our mission. Good. Now we're able to find places to apply without plastic. Yeah, as I said, buy from the farmer. Yeah, and that's one step closer to buy from them, and to improve our health, overall health. So, what is the next stage then? Now you're probably fully in on why we should buy from companies or places where they benefit the environment. They're deep in the environmental stuff, so if we buy from them, especially organic food without plastic and such, we are getting most of the health benefits. Nearly all, I think, probably all. What is the next stage? The next stage is that we go from a grocery store to butcher and farmer, which are aligning to the environmental things. That we're getting local quality meat and fruits without plastic, without antibiotics, meat without antibiotics, without pesticides, without plastics, and healthy and natural fertilizer. They're feeding the animals organic food, so we're getting good food as well when we eat the food. They're free of walk, because organic is best for health. The next step is truly to go and buy from their stores, their sites, their companies, instead of grocery store. That is the next stage. I am trying to go to that stage. That is my kind of goal, you could say. You can probably find a farmer or butcher that is really in the environment, and then you get the best quality meat as possible. Easy. Note that although the price might be higher, that not everybody has access or can't afford that or want to commit that long. Note that it is the way to further improve testosterone, improve quality of the animals, and benefit the climate and environment and you, and the food we ingest gives us the natural drawbacks. We will get our testosterone, our natural drawback, we minimize the risk of being infertile, which is plastic and things like that is kind of helping us to be infertile. We become less sterilized than AFK. Diet is about 70%. I think it's more like 80% or so of our health, and the rest is like sleep and sunlight. And it's one of the biggest difference you can make. The most important thing a human can do is to get healthy food, go on a dopamine detox, and get sufficient amount of sleep. That is what I think, and optimizes water quality and all these things. They're very important for a human to fulfill these needs. That is the most important thing, and I think food is actually the most important, or sleep. Sleep is either sleep or food is the most important thing. So I think it's the most important thing. That's why I make this full guide. It's the needs a man. A man needs these things to conquer. He needs good food to conquer. Do a man expect to conquer the world when he is poisoned, sterilized, and weakened to a point of obesity and laziness and depression and anxiety his whole life? If you are ready to make the shift from less than mediocrity, or from mediocrity, to the superior human, the superior man, the superior being of yourself, then fix your diet. Stop cringing about the diet. Stop your snacking. Stop your cravings and all that shit. I will now show you how best you can eat, and show you when to eat to optimize even that. I have now covered the first big part of this video, which was about what food to eat to optimize that for increased health and longevity. Now let's talk about what specific food, and not only the quality, and then talk about when you eat. But before that, I have an actionable step for you. You have watched this long. Now it's time for you to do something. Go to your refrigerator, your fridge, whatever storage you have, and check on the index, or the back side of the package, the foil, and it's probably plastic, but just see that if it doesn't say organic, it's not organic. It's pesticide, full of pesticide. So if it doesn't say organic apples, if it doesn't say organic meat, if it doesn't say organic vegetable, if it doesn't say organic that, then it's probably not organic. And then how you check, do check your fridge or refrigerator, that you know, you have your, let's say you have your potatoes, you bought some potatoes, potato in the oven, you know, quick nuggets. Check on the back side of the index, the back side, and you can see that it's not 100% chicken, 100% meat, 100% what it's supposed to be. And then you know it's processed food. And same with oil. If you have rapeseed oil, olive oil, it says polysaturated, monosaturated, and then it says fatty acid, you know, saturated fat. And rapeseed oil will be contain a lot of polysaturated fat, and it's a really bad fat, and I will talk about it later in the video. But actionable step is that you can see if it has saturated fat, it's good. They say, oh, it's bad to have the saturated fat. You probably heard that scam. Low fat is good, and they say that saturated fat is bad. The best fat, they say, best fat is polysaturated fat. That's a lie of being told. So do that now. And then you can truly see how dystopic and horrible it is, and how your diet can be improved in so many ways. I promise you that you can do at least 2, 3, even 4, 5 things. There are a lot of things you can do. Yeah, I'm gonna go hit the toilet, so I will note down what time is. I hope you have used this time when I was away to check the food. And if you haven't, I recommend you do this actionable step which I told you about. And now let's get into the next part. What foods to eat? What food should you eat? What food should you consume and ingest? I recommend you eating the most healthiest food. I want to help you. I make this video for you because I want to help you. I want to tell you, make you realize what the healthier food, the healthier option is, and how you can do. As I said, this actionable step before, that will show you that there is some things that needs to change. And in the first part of the video, I talked a lot about meat and vegetables, and I will go deeper into those two. And what other things you should and could be ingesting to not be looked down like the average American. If you don't want to be looked down like the average American or Western food who eats fast food all day and is satisfied doing so, follow this video. Things that having some fun, eating shit, drinking shit, taking antidepressant is the norm. I will show you how to make the new diet in the last part of the video, and later on this video, and how it will be sustainable, how you can stay consistent in the diet, and and many things, and I will go specific into those things a bit later. But now, what is the foods that are ideal, and what food should one be eating and consuming? I talked about one ingredient, food that only contains one ingredient, and pesticide-free food, and plastic estrogenic-free food. Now, what foods are good for nutritional needs, and food for muscle building, and food you can stay consistent with. I highly recommend you only eating one ingredient food, and food I eat, and alternative will be covered. So I will cover what food I eat and why you should only be eating one ingredient food. I've talked about that quite a lot already, and alternatives will be covered, because I realize that not everyone will want to do exactly as I do, all these, not be 100%, so I will cover some alternatives as well. And now, it's quite interesting, now we go into fats. Now, I've talked about them many times here on my channel before. I will try to make it pretty quick, because this video is getting pretty long, but I still want you to know the fats. But when it comes to fats in general, fats that are so-called physical or not in a liquid form or shape, that is a good fat. You want fat that are pure saturated fat, pure non-liquid form, pure physical, pure. It's like a pure pen. You don't want. That's the difference. This is saturated, this polysaturated. That's just an example. Of course, there's water and pen, but you know what I mean. When it's in liquid form, it's mono or polysaturated fat. If it's in real form, butter. You take of the butter. That's saturated fats. That's fatty acid. An example of this is butter. Ghee is like the it's like the Asian version of butter. I don't know, but it's more common there. But ghee, butter, and duck fat, and many more you can use. But I personally use butter. But fats that are pure and saturated, like this, pure and saturated, those are saturated fats. They're called pure fatty saturated fats. Yeah. So what fats should you avoid? When you're this deep in the video, you probably want to implement this and optimize your diet as much as possible. And I highly recommend you avoid polysaturated, liquid form, and maybe even monosaturated. What is the deal with polysaturated fats and monosaturated fats? The biggest deal with polysaturated fat is that it's a lot of double bonds in the structure. A polysaturated fats example, forms of rapeseed oil or canola oil, as it's called now, because rapeseed oil had a name to it, canola oil, and it's very dangerous. Not only the fat, but even in the beginning of the process when you make. Now, the rapeseed oil are cultivated as toxic. Yes, it's in its natural shape, its natural form toxic. When you grow it, it's toxic. And what we do to avoid these toxic, is by heating, the deodorization process, we like to call it. We heat it, and then we heat it in thousands of degrees, not 70 to get rid of alcohols, not this on the pan. This is thousands of degrees. This is real shit, and that is way above 70 degrees. But you maybe know already that heat has no effect on estrogenics and bisphenols and other dangerous things for us, many things. So heat can really get rid of those things, and there are still these hormone disruptive things left in it. So that's one reason. Another reason is that oil oxidizes. And when oil oxidizes, that builds cancerous particles starts to form in the oil. That is why we aren't to cook in high temperature, and that's why cardiovascular disease is very common, I think. So we are definitely not to cook oil in high temperatures, especially not polysaturated and monosaturated. You can use butter and all these things in quite high temperature, but never use that high temperatures because no fat isn't immune, you could say. But it's immune, the fats, fatty acid, the butter and the olive oil, the monounsaturated fats is immune, because example of polysaturated fats is rapeseed oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, soy. You've probably heard of the controversies around soy, and that's for a good reason, and I agree with those things. But seed oils, soy oil, sunflower oil, fucking rapeseed oil, these are toxic. They're toxins, man. And if we talk about olive oil is a monounsaturated fat, so it's a lot better than polysaturated fats. You're probably seen it with a dark bottle, and there's a reason for it. Maybe it's cooler, better looking, and if it's of higher price, so you need higher quality, right? But it's not only that. It's actually mainly because we don't want the oil to oxidize. That's why I have a dark bottle, because if you have a white t-shirt, no, I messed up here for that. Sorry. But you want the dark bottle because you don't want light in, right? So we don't want that. We don't want light in. So that's why we had a dark bottle, because we don't want cancer building to start in olive oil. So we don't want to expose it to high temperatures. And we certainly don't want to expose it to light. I believe that is one of the reasons why cancer and other cardiovascular diseases is getting more common these days. It's really sad. Be prepared for shit, because shit's about to be said here. Now I'm gonna talk about the company I hate. There is a company I hate with strong passion, and that is called American Heart Association. Apparently they are good for health, for heart health. Do you think that cardiovascular disease is healthy for us? Do you think that? Why the fuck are they called that? And the symbol looks disgusting. It's a heart with a white screw in the middle and has like a stem in the top here. And that's exactly how the symbol looks. And I want you to know exactly how it looks so you can avoid it. Yeah, I tell you about this specific reason. I tell you for the specific reason that you are to avoid it. Let me repeat myself. Avoid the American Heart Association with passion and see it as worse than haram. See it as haram and see it as a short way to develop cancer. See it as a short way to develop cancer. The alternative to polysaturated and monounsaturated fat is fatty acids such as butter, ghee, and duck fat. The physical fats not in liquid form. You want to ingest and consume saturated fats for a reason why do you want to consume saturated fats? It's for the reason to not get the negatives of the other fats, and also to get another boost in testosterone, and you look healthier, better skin health, and many more benefits, and none of these downsides that comes with the other polysaturated, monounsaturated. So it's a must. If you cook with butter, let's say, it's extremely good. So it's a must, in my opinion. Then we come to meat. You know what protein is and why you need it, so I will make this brief. Why meat? You probably heard many times about protein, so I'll make it brief. So, simply put it, it's a hell lot of protein. It's the best protein source, and it's tasty. And it's good to have high in calories. Yeah, good to have high in calories and protein, because protein is good for you, right? And you need a lot. You want a lot of fiber and protein in your calories per day, meaning that instead of eating carbs, use that extra calories for meat. That is the ideal way. The way I do it, and the reason I can record this video actually. But I will cover all the secrets later in the video. And I won't make any chapters here because I don't want you to skip the videos. I want you to watch it in order, so I will cover some of the secrets later on in the video. I will not tell you because, yeah, you will skip to that part. And remember, I told you that if you watch this video and stay 100% focused in full screen, no tab, no doing nothing, watch it 100% focused on in this video. Don't have to be one sitting, but you have to watch it in order and give it your full and utter attention. That determines how much value you will get from this video. And this video is everything this is everything you will ever need. You never have to watch any other diet videos again. And so if you truly decide to go from mediocrity to the masculine, ultimate, happy, fulfilled man, it's up to you to listen to this video other than fully. If you are this far, but you probably want me to keep talking, so without further ado, why protein? Simply put it, it is our building blocks. It's our building blocks. It's vital not only for muscle building, but muscles are getting torn for the day, and then we sleep and want to build blocks and repair when we sleep. We need a building blocks to repair, and when we sleep as well. Not only sleep, we need a building blocks as well. We need sufficient protein, recover, and build muscle, especially for a young boy. He won't grow. He won't grow taller, he won't grow without protein, because, surprise, that is the way to gain height. So, how to gain length, how to get taller, how to gain in height, how to gain height. Well, strong muscles are holding your body, and if you have stronger muscles, you can hold more. So you get taller. So you grow taller when you build more muscle. And that is done through ingesting or consuming a lot of protein. And resistance training is 100 times more efficient and effective. But protein is a must. But if you do resistance and training and all these things, you will get even taller. Leg workouts and all these things. You get protein. Protein is a really must. You need to ingest protein. For every single person that does resistance training, it's for people who cares about their physical and aesthetics and wanna get taller and look and get better looks and are on self-improvement. Many guys are on self-improvement, doing workout. Then I will talk about the next thing you need in your diet. The thing that is a must. So saturated fat like butt-ski and duck fat, there is essential. You must use them when cooking. And then there's a second thing which you must use when cooking. So, what about eggs? We briefly talked about eggs before, and that we want to eat pasture-raised, organic eggs, and that is why eggs is so important, simply put it. I think it's the healthiest, and the food with the most nutrients that there is, probably, so it's the most nutrients and the healthiest things. You can probably survive only eating eggs. That is also probably the only thing you can survive and only eat one thing, and that's eggs. So it says something, right? You often hear a lot of shit, though. You often hear a lot of shit online, like, it builds high cholesterol, that is bad for the heart. That is what the American Heart Association said, and so I don't care. As I said, it was haram. I said you should never listen to anything Heart Association says. Boycott them. Fuck them. There's no. If American Heart Association said something, that's not true. So I don't fucking care about it. That's just bullshit. Simply put it, when you consume eggs, you are getting fats, cholesterols that are good for your body. you're getting lots of testosterone from eating eggs. You build all this cholesterol and fats and testosterone. And there is also a bunch of protein and a bunch of minerals and vitamins in eggs. I believe that there's almost every vitamin besides vitamin C, and you're not getting sufficient amount of vitamin D just eating eggs. You need to get out inside, like, man. I don't know the source of this, but it's probably true, and I can tell you that it's not from American Heart Association, so I can promise you. Rather, they would instead say that eggs, American Heart Association say that eggs is dangerous. You get fat by eating eggs. What the fuck am I hearing? I'm hearing that you get fat from eating eggs. You get fat. If you eat fat, you get fat. That's what they tell you. That's not how it works. That's not fucking how it works. That's probably the same guys who says you can eat. It's more healthy to eat donuts because that's shit fat and all these things. Oh my god. I've had personal experience of eating eggs. I eat 4 to 8 eggs a day. I usually eat 6 or 5 eggs because, well, I don't go to the store every fucking day. But I have personal experience that the more eggs I eat, the more my testosterone goes up. And I can clearly feel the difference. I will never go a day without eggs. I repeat myself, I would never go a day without eggs. Eggs are my diet. The most important thing in my diet. Neither should you or the superior man. The superior man eats 8 or even more eggs a day, and he's ready to conquer the world. His testosterone is through the roof. You can't even count the testosterone he's got. He's ready to conquer the world. So that's about eggs. Nuts. I am not as invested in them as I am in meat and eggs. But I do know that nuts are full of different minerals and that it's a natural protein source. So nuts, beans, meat and eggs are the best one can consume. You've probably heard many times. Some beans are though shit, like soybean in particular, which should be avoided at all fucking costs. Avoid soy. Nuts contain much zinc and magnesium and other vital minerals. And eggs and nuts decrease the chance of you getting sick because free radicals, probably heard of that before, free radicals, as I've covered in many other videos before, reduce the risk of you getting sick. So, because not a single time someone has never been sick without free radicals. So free radicals have been present every time someone has been sick. So that also means that when you eat vitamin and water, it's a vasodilator. They are treating the free radicals. So when you drink a lot of water and vitamins, they're, as I said before, vasodilators. So by ingesting vasodilators, you can have the bodily function of fighting off bacteria and other free radicals and keep us healthy. So that's how we are healthy, not sick every time. That's how we can do cold shower and how we can conquer the world without being sick. Because Adonis, or the superior man, he doesn't get sick. He never gets sick. Now, what about vegetables? This video is very long, but now we're getting to the vegetable part. Now you probably hear that vegetables are good, and yes indeed, I believe that eating vegetable is absolutely essential. I don't believe in only carnivore diet. I don't believe that. Jordan Peterson says that on a carnivore diet. Maybe it worked for him, but for me, and I think for many, it's not per se ideal to only eat carnivore diet, because I think you're missing out on a lot of important stuff by doing just that. Some things can't be replaced with supplements, and I think diet is one of these things. You can't replace minerals and vitamins and all these things. No, you need the vegetables. Your vegetables are rich in both vitamins. So, popular ones I use, and you should be using, as Brussels sprouts, broccoli, leek of many kinds, carrots and corn, real corn. that counts as, if that even counts as vegetable, corn, pepper, chili, salad, spinach leaves as example. They are some of the best and the ones I personally use, and they're all amazing. They fit most of the vitamins and mineral needs from our body, can act as a replacement for calories because I only eat once a day because I'm fasting. I will talk about that later in the video. So I eat in reduced frequencies, but I think there are a lot of benefits in doing just that. Yeah, but I eat a bunch of vitamins to get all my vitamin needs and not get sick. That's why I eat vegetables. Man, there was something I forgot that I need to tell. Yeah, fiber. Man, I nearly forgot fiber. Vegetables are broccoli and leek and all these things I told you are rich in fiber, and I generally feel healthier the more fiber I eat. Should definitely eat fiber. You should be consuming as much fiber as you can, at the same time getting protein, a lot of protein. And you want that fiber to keep you going at the day, right? Fruits, I eat apples and oranges. Why do I eat apple and oranges for fruit? Because oranges and lemon and all these things are rich in vitamin C, which was not that present in my eggs, and not many vegetables either, and I don't want to take the risk. So the best way to get vitamin C is through oranges, or satsumas also works, but they're not as rich as oranges. So I don't know, but satsumas or oranges, I think oranges are more tastier as well. They are more rich in vitamin C, and they can be quite sweet. So if you're really struggling with the diet, add that and have a good addition to the diet, because it's good for you and it's tasty, right? So I've covered this far in the video. If you want to build a habit of eating healthier, start with progressively overloading yourself. That is truly the best way. So go to oranges or apples from these other cake, candy, ice cream. So your dessert should be fruits. That's a good step up. Progressively overload yourself. And then you can overload yourself to only eat once a day, which I'm doing. I am at that stage now. I eat apple because of the vitamins and the mineral, and it's also some carbs and natural carbs. I eat that. I need some, I think. I don't even know, but I want that apple afterwards. I feel like I really need it. Our ancestors ate fruits, so you should also eat fruits. Good addition. I think you should eat fruits. Apples are very good. So, for the long-awaited, when should you eat, and when I eat, and when the superior man eats. There is much talk here. Men have different preferences, and this I will cover work for some, and for some it doesn't. So there is really no best diet, to be honest, but there is a lot you can do about it. I think there's actually one that is greater, but it's not superior in any way. It may not even work for some, but if you're like me, and if you like my videos, and if you think I am authentic enough, I think you should try my diet, and I will talk about it soon. So the superior man eats like this, and I eat like this, and that's worked best for me. But it might not work for some, but for me it's extremely effective. So the technique I use is a modified intermittent fasting. Now first, what is intermittent fasting? It's when you have an 8 to 6 hour eat window. What a trick do I mean? I eat 6 hour eat window, 16 hour rest window or fast window. So example, eat breakfast at 8 and then I eat lunch at 16, because that's 8 hour. 8 to 12, 4, 12, 4 plus 4, 16, so 8 to 16, so 8 to 4 p.m., 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. as an example, and then you don't eat anything after 4 p.m., so next time you eat is 8, so you stayed fasted through 4 p.m. to 8 a.m., so 16 hours. That is the first. That is an example of intermittent fasting. Note that this example, that's an example, but you can also eat like breakfast 6, and then you eat lunch 12, and then the next time you eat is 6. You can structure the way you want, really. This doesn't matter that really much. You can optimize as much as you want, but I only want to give you the basics so you can optimize when you eat, and if you want to eat what times. Maybe you can't eat 6 because some have problem eating breakfast early in the morning, so maybe you want to optimize that and do that, and when I get to work and not able to eat at a certain time, you can of course optimize that the way you want, right? So what do I mean when I talk about this modify intermittent fasting? Yeah, I eat only once. What? Only once? You kidding me? Are you sure that's good for you, boy? Son, man, what are you doing, man? Are you eating one time? What are you doing? What the hell are you doing? We should eat 4 times when you're bold. What the fuck are you doing? You building muscle eating 1 time. Shut up. Now let me talk. This is my video. You insane creature, whatever I'm being called. I'm being called a crazy ass insane creature when I say I only eat once. I have my reasons, and I'm this deep in the video, so you better trust me now. When I eat, I have 1 meal, 2 hours before resistance training. So my resistance training is about 12 or so, so I eat 9:30, and then 10 I'm about done, and then 2 hours before resistance training. So I do maybe some work before I hit the gym. I only do this because I can feel that high insulin level when I eat that rises. So when I eat, the digestive process quite taxing our energy, so I wait 2 hours to get some energy back in my brain to get pumping. Because most of my energy is being to sort out the food in the digestive system. I've talked many times before that the digestive system and thoughts are the most energy consuming thing, and therefore you want to wait a little before you hit your PB in your gym. So don't go after you just ate. You will get that dip. It's like you drink coffee late in the evening. You can't really. It's like it doesn't work. You will get that energy dip later in the day. Unfortunately, it's horrible. But that's only one of the reasons I eat once. The second reason is that I feel off. There is something about being in food coma. You probably heard this many times, like food coma after you eat and it lasts for the whole day. It doesn't last for a whole day. It does only last for, as I said, maximum 2 hours, half hour, something like that. Whatever you call it these days. We want to still get work done, right? We want to get work done. We want to record a video like I do now. There is some deep primal stuff about being satisfied, because I always talk about leaning just beyond your edge all the time, and that we should not be comfortable all the time. Get outside of your comfort zone, they say. There is something connected in that, and when we are not eating, there is that drive. What did the ancestors do when they wanted food? They need energy to get the food, so they have the drive to get the food. I'm using that to my work, so I essentially boost my energy by doing that. So it's a very powerful tool I use. Why is this rare, and why are many unknowing? No one knows about this, and I believe that I think it's about mostly of our needs are met. We no longer need to find a shelter. We no longer need to travel to the animals, and we no longer need to hunt for food. Oh my ear. Yeah, you heard that right. We no longer need to hunt for food. We need a drive to hunt for food, right? Millions of years of evolution went into this. We wouldn't survive otherwise, because that's how we survived, right? We created this million years of evolution, and that's how we are today. We deep inside have created this system for us to survive. We would never have survived if we were... Just imagine, would we have survived if we were a lazy ass on the sofa, the couch, eating shit food, watching fucking Netflix hours a day? Did you think we did that? No, I think we moved all the time, hunted foods. We didn't. So there is a reason why this... So there's a reason why we have this energy by not eating all the time, because we don't want to get satisfied. For if we are satisfied, we're not gonna move. Right. It takes a lot of time, a hell lot of time for our body to change. It took billions of years just for us to stand on 2 legs. So our natural emotions, fears, and all those things is deep evolution. Our gut feeling is deep evolution. When we eat processed, hormone-disruptive food, we are messing and sterilizing our stomach and brain. And as I said many times before, our stomach is very connected to our brain, so our stomach feeling is very powerful because that's our second brain. So if we destroy our second brain, we only have one, because stomach feeling is our best intuition and the most powerful asset. It's more powerful than our brain, because our brain is not an asset these days. You know that already. That's the thing that gets you to relapse and get you to go to your bad habits, and tells you don't have to do this and that, because you're satisfied and you're reinforced the bad part of your brain. That's the modern world, right? We use gut feeling and knowledge to know where you should stand. Or if you're healthy, your gut feeling and your knowledge is the best thing you can use. So not only your knowledge, your gut feeling is very good. A healthy man can use his gut feeling fully. And I can truly respect a man, the superior man who uses gut feelings. I think that is his gut feelings, and that got him to where he stands. What got successful people to where he stands is probably his gut feeling. So if you're healthy and then trust your gut feeling, I have a lot of respect for you. Summary why I eat like I do, simply because I want to be full of energy. When I am fasted, I am full of energy. I am with most of my energy, and I feel like I can get a lot of things done when I do so, when I'm fasted. My energy goes down, my productivity goes down, my ability to work increases, my presence increases, my life feels generally richer and fuller and more amazing, and I can experience all the amazing thing that's just waiting for me. I need to act now and work now to claim it. I need to claim the things that is out there. That's the message I'm spreading. Work hard now, claim the things you are to do. The man should claim everything. Here on my channel I talk about self-improvement. Now, what about bulkers for this method? Nah, ain't that bad. You need to eat a lot, to get bulking. But intermittent fasting, as previously mentioned in this video, is eat 8 to 16 hour meat. But maybe you can modify it as I do, eat once. But it's the best and the most flexible model. It's so flexible that I even made I made a modified version. It's very flexible. And the previous state I modified it. But it's a very useful for fasting method. This intermittent fasting for bulkers, it's still effective for bulkers, because what you really need is to be in a calorie surplus when you bulk. So when bulking, you need to eat more than you burn to gain weight, essentially. Because you can't build muscles without getting up in weight. But if you follow this video on what to eat and when, like intermittent fasting, and it's actually optimized to build as much muscle possible while still keeping the energies level high, or at least not bring them down as much. Intermittent fasting is the sustainable method of dieting. You can eat food that is also tasty and increases the testosterone, an important hormone you've probably heard of many times. You need that testosterone to conquer, to eliminate your competition. And that is just what we do. When you implement these steps, I've covered much of my I've already conquered most of my competition about diet. Every fucking fitness influencer, all the fucking stupid people, I've already conquered them all, and I've already eliminated and destroyed all the beliefs of you might have, the viewer. No man, they're done. They're shit here. Yeah, we also boycotted them, so they're nothing anymore. People struggle being focused as long as they should do. So I believe that if you don't eat bad, if you don't eat processed food, pesticide, plastic, if you eat like a healthy guy on self-improvement, like I did, and if you eat like I told you in this video, as I've covered, only you on self-improvement made it here probably, that's my guess, so you probably want to implement these steps. But how can you use intermittent fasting for weight loss? This video is getting long, it's soon done, I think. About 10 minutes more probably. As previously said, it's very flexible for a lot of things, especially weight loss. You get no or little weight, little energy dips, and bulking. It's good for bulking and to full control your diet. But why is this good for weight loss? Because you have your full control of your diet. There's no cravings anymore, right? You have full control of your diet, so you can measure, and so you don't go in a calorie surplus when you want to lose weight. And it's pretty easy to lose weight if you use this model, actually, which many other models is stupid. I can appreciate and respect a guy who can control his diet, meaning not a guy who eats all the time, a hungry guy who builds the habit of eating often. And there is some stupid guys. I know there is some stupid guys. They're eating when they're bored. Eating. I can respect a guy who don't crave and eat for a reason and eat 1 time or 2 times. I respect a guy who don't eat shit and don't eat that often. Yeah. And I myself don't crave anything anymore. I haven't eaten sweet or shit in 2 years. That's the result. So if you follow this, you will never have your craving. This is the result you get after watching this video to the end. If you watch this truly in order to the end, you will be successful. It's easy to control how much you eat, and you get less calories from eating 1 time. If you think about eating 1 time, you get, when you're fasted, you lose more calories in that way. And if you only eat once, if you eat 3 meals a day, then there is 1/3, and then you can double that, and then there is 2/3 of what you ate before, but only 1 time. So you're losing a lot of weight, and you're getting everything you actually need, and a lot more, Yeah. And it's easy to control no craving, so you can actually control how much you shove in 1 time. So it's pretty easy for weight loss, and also pretty easy to bulk. But it's gonna be more difficult to bulk because you wanna eat a fuck ton. But yeah, if you eliminate your cravings, that is the best way to, lose weight. Cravings and binge eating, how to treat that. If you follow this model and eat better, it will help you. But if that's not enough, you probably heard of hamza's many actionable steps, and that you should not throw the sweets away. Rather, you should not use porn block, you should not do that. Yes, throw the sweets away. Instead of throwing the sweets away, rather keep them at your desk. If you're struggling, you need to train up that willpower and train yourself. Get control of your diet, get control over yourself. Essentially decorate the room, or put like candy in front of your desk besides your computer with sweets that you're craving. Let's say you're for dime, you usually binge eat a dime and ice cream, have the ice cream besides you and all these things, so that will train your willpower up some. But don't decorate your whole room, of course. And I agree with Hamza on this, but there is one thing I am not agreeing on. If you truly know how the dopamine system works, you probably know that it's not only associated with pleasure, but it's also motivation. You also know that you can get dopamine through not only by actually eating the sweet, and initiating that action, but also the thought. The problem is that you will get these dopamine hits, and that is very disturbing to get the dopamine hits. You see your sweet, all that, you get the dopamine hits, and it's very distracting in your work. Yeah. You get dopamine by just thinking about it, yeah, so if you're craving crazy high dopamine, it should be done if you have no cravings at all, meaning that putting your chocolate bar or candy, whatever desk, is an optimal actionable step. For those in dire, it's something you should do right now if you're in a dire state. You cannot control your diet. Order dime or whatever, put it on your desk. I don't care if you can't eat it because it's bad, because it's not edible anymore, The reason why you did this was not to eat. The reason why you ordered it was not to eat it. Eating it was never your plan. It was to increase that willpower and control your need in order to get further improving yourself, and stop those, for God's sake, cravings and snack times and all the time. why talking about cravings, simply put it, if they destroy your fasting, which is a big part of you mastering your diet. And the point of this video, so do this actionable step now. If you struggle with eating clean, and if you're snacking, if you struggle with eating clean, and if you're snacking, the others can ignore this one. So if you don't struggle, you don't have to put your chocolate bar on your desk. I don't, because I never struggle with it. But if you do, please do that actionable step. It's a good step that Hamza made. And I said, because if you're not struggling with eating binge food, it'll just be annoying for you, just be disturbing for you, you know. Yeah, so if you made it this far, and you have implemented all the things in this video, you are steps close to success. I can tell you that if you manage to implement all of these things, you are better than 99.9999% of people. And I truly hope that this video, it's done now essentially, but I truly hope that this video help you in some ways or another. And it was not even 2 hours. My goal is to get the video over 2 hours, but I didn't this time. But this is the full diet video. You will never need another diet video than this. And yeah, hope you like the video, and remember to use your dark desires when proceeding any types of work. And maybe I will see you again. Bye.